Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make an incredibly moist and delicious cake. Tender honey sponge cake with light sour cream frosting, sweet dry plums and crunchy walnuts. It's a great cake for any celebration or just for an afternoon coffee snack. To make the batter, we'll need sifted flour, sugar, eggs at room temperature, honey, vegetable oil, water, baking soda and salt. Let's start by separating the eggs into egg whites and egg yolks. Do it very carefully so not a drop of yolk gets into the egg whites. Also make sure that the mixing bowl and the whisk attachment are very clean and there is no residual oil or fat left behind to disturb or deflate the egg whites. Add a pinch of salt to the egg whites and start whipping the egg whites on low speed until foamy. Then increase the speed to medium and gradually add the sugar. Whisk the egg whites until stiff peaks form. When you're done, they should look smooth, shiny, and the tips can stand straight up. Add the sugar to the egg yolks and beat until light color and increasing in volume. Add the honey and give it a quick stir. Add the vegetable oil and water at room temperature and mix again. Mix the baking soda with the flour and add the dry ingredients to the egg yolks mixture into 2 batches. Mix everything until combined well. Next, add the beaten egg whites in a few batches. Mix everything very gently so the batter doesn't lose volume. As soon as the cake batter becomes smooth, stop the mixing. To bake the cake, I covered the bottom of a 9-inch spring form with parchment paper. Transfer the cake batter to the baking pan and spread evenly with a spatula. Bake at 340 degrees for 40 to 45 minutes. Check the readiness of the cake with a skewer or toothpick. Let the cake cool in the baking pan for about 10 minutes or so, then with a sharp knife slice between the cake and the baking pan. Take the ring part off, invert the cake, and carefully take off the parchment paper from the bottom. Let the cake cool completely. In the meantime, let's make the filling. For the filling, we'll need sour cream, powdered sugar, vanilla extract, walnuts, and dry pitted plums. Place the walnuts onto a pan and let them roast for about 5 minutes, stirring consistently. Then we need to chop the walnuts and set them aside. We also need to chop the dry plums into small cubes. Add the vanilla extract and powdered sugar to the sour cream and whisk until combined. Divide the cake into 3 cake layers. You can use any way that's convenient for you. Today I will make notches with a knife and then using a thread I'll cut the cake. The cake turned out very soft and moist and smells incredible. Next, we need to cut each layer cake with a baking ring that's a smaller diameter. If you don't have a baking ring, you can use a smaller plate and cut it around with a knife. Keep the cake thin in pieces, and with a blender they needed to be crushed into crumbs. Now it's time to assemble the cake. I will assemble the cake right on the cake stand, but you can use a cake board or serving plate. Place a small amount of filling on the cake board and place the first cake layer on top. Put the same baking ring that we used to cut the cake on top of the cake layer. If you don't have a baking ring, just assemble the cake without it. Spread about 4 tablespoons of sour cream filling on top of the cake. Then sprinkle half of the chopped plums and half of the chopped walnuts. Spread more filling on top and cover with a second cake layer. I found it much easier to use a piping bag to cover the plums and nuts with the filling. Repeat the process with the second layer. Spread more sour cream filling on top of the third cake layer. Cover with plastic wrap and refrigerate for 4 to 6 hours, or even better, overnight. If you are assembling the cake without a baking ring, make sure to cover the cake with a box or plastic cake holder so that the cake doesn't absorb the smell from the refrigerator. When the cake is chilled, using a sharp knife, slice between the cake and the baking ring and take the ring off. Apply some of the remaining frosting all around the sides of the cake. If you don't have leftover filling, just mix a few tablespoons of sour cream with powdered sugar. Place the cake on the baking pan and coat the sides of the cake with the cake crumbs. Decorate the honey cake as you desire. Refrigerate the cake for a few hours before serving. This cake turned out very tasty and moist. I hope you love it as much as my family does. I really hope that my video will be useful to you. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below and I'll make sure to get back to you. If you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss any future videos. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time.